In this video, we are going to talk about the sum and difference identities for tangent. So first, let's talk about our formulas. And I'm going to first just talk about addition. So just the addition formula. So it's going to be tangent of A plus tangent of B over 1 plus, actually I lied, 1 minus tangent A times tangent B. Now, if we were going to do the tangent of A minus B, that would look like tangent of A minus tangent of B all over 1 plus tangent A tangent B. And so you'll be given these formulas, but today we're going to talk about how we utilize them. So if we look at this first form question, it says find the tangent of 195. So my goal is to think about two angles that would add or subtract to 195 that are on the unit circle. So I'm going to pick 60 degrees and 135 degrees. Now, you could have also done 225 minus 30. There's definitely more than one right answer, and they will still get you to the same final answer. So I'm going to use my sum formula. Tangent A plus tangent B all over 1 minus tangent 60 times tangent of 135. So normally on the unit circle, we can just see sine and cosine, but let's talk about what is the tangent of 60 degrees and what is the tangent of 135 degrees. So at 60 degrees, my coordinate is 1/2 comma root 3 over 2. So if I did y divided by x, I would get square root of 3. Now at 135, my coordinate is negative root 2 over 2 comma root 2 over 2. So tangent at 135 is going to be negative 1. So I'm going to have square root of 3 plus negative 1 all over 1 minus square root of 3 times negative 1. So I'm going to have square root of 3 minus 1 all over 1 plus square root of 3. And this is how I could leave my final answer. In number 2, now we're using our formulas to condense. So I have tangent of A minus tangent of B, and then 1 plus tangent A times tangent B. So this looks like my tangent difference formula. So really this is tangent of 3/2 x minus 7/5 x. Now those aren't common denominators. So I'm going to really change this to tangent of, well, common denominator would be 10. So 15 over 10x minus 14 over 10x. So it's going to be tangent of 1/10 x. Now we can also use our identities to verify. So again, if I have tangent of something added or subtracted, do not distribute. This is a sum formula. So I'm going to have tangent of A and B. So tangent A plus tangent B all over 1 minus tangent A tangent B. So I'm going to have tangent of x plus 1 all over 1 plus tangent of x times 1. Oh, I apologize, it's not plus, it's minus. So that's going to lead me to tangent of x plus 1 all over 1 minus tangent of x. Now, that looks really nice and pretty and simplified, although it's not what I want. This is what I want to have in the end. So in order to change these in terms of sine and cosine, I'm going to change my tangents to be in terms of sine and cosine. So I'm going to have sine of x over cosine of x plus 1 all over 1 minus sine of x cosine of x. Now, there's a couple things we can do here. We can get a common denominator by changing these 1s to cosine over cosine. We could also just multiply by the common denominator. So my denominator is cosine. So if I multiply by the denominator to the top and the bottom and distribute this in, it'll get rid of my fractions within my fractions. So I'll end up with sine x cosine x over cosine plus cosine x. And I'll have cosine x minus sine x cosine x all over cosine. So the reason we do this is because those cosines will simplify. So you could actually go straight into sine x plus cosine x all over cosine x minus sine x. So you could actually skip straight to this step if you want. But that's one way to simplify this a little bit quicker. All right, let's take a look at some of our triangle problems. So I have a triangle alpha where I have sine is positive, which happens in quadrants 1 and 2. And secant, which is the reciprocal of cosine, is negative, which happens in 2 and 3. So it tells me my triangle is going to be in quadrant 2. And I got to think about my SOHCAHTOA. So sine is opposite over hypotenuse, so I'm going to have 5 over 13. And this is a 5, 12, 13 triangle, or you could do Pythagorean theorem. Because I'm in quadrant 2, the 12 is going to be negative. All right, so that's my alpha triangle. My beta triangle is, well, tangent's negative, which happens in quadrants 2 and quadrants 4. And this is saying sine is positive, which happens in quadrants 1 and quadrants 2. So that's telling me that this triangle will also be in quadrant 2. Now they're telling me the tangent is negative root 3. But again, I want a fraction because I want opposite over adjacent. So I'm going to have it be negative root 3 over 1. So opposite over adjacent. Now, if I look at the way I just labeled my triangle, it does not make sense because this side should be positive and this side should be negative. So I'm going to need to switch my negative to be with the 1. Now I need to figure out what this side is. This actually goes back to unit circle. It's going to be a 2, but if we weren't sure, we could do Pythagorean theorem to find it. All right, so now we want to find tangent of alpha minus beta. So that formula is tangent of alpha minus tangent of beta all over 1 plus tangent of alpha times tangent of beta. So tangent of the alpha triangle is opposite over adjacent, so negative 5/12. Tangent of beta is negative root 3, which we know because they gave it to us up here, and also from the triangle. And I'm going to have 1 plus negative 5/12 over negative root times negative root 3. So on top here, I'm going to have negative 5/12 plus square root 3 all over 1 plus, remember this is over 1, so it's going to be positive 5 square root 3 over 12. Now I don't want fractions within fractions, so I'm going to multiply this whole guy by 12. So again, 12, 12, 12, 12. And so what that'll do is if I do negative 5/12 times 12, I'm left with negative 5 plus 12 root 3. And then I have 12 plus 5 root 3. And so this will be my fully simplified answer for this question.